Hi, this is Liz again from Hedgehog Lodge. I'm putting together a video that I'm not going to promise is going to be quick because it's about guinea pig bonding, which can sometimes be a bit of a complicated topic. Um, Guinea pigs are herd animals, but that doesn't mean you can just throw a new pet guinea pig into a cage with existing guinea pigs. It's like people, they can clash and they can't just be pushed together all at once. So I actually took in these two new baby guinea pigs here. I'll tell you about them in a second. And I'm kind of going to walk you through the process of introducing them to my two girls here, and hopefully you'll get a better sense of how to do it, just in case it's something that you're ever interested in doing for yourself. So just a couple of rules of thumb to start off. If you have a male and you want to get him a friend, your best bet is to go with a young baby male. Even if you plan on getting him neutered and, think you might want to get a female, it would be better to go with a baby male because there are risks involved in neutering. And a lot of the time, two male guinea pigs get along perfectly and there's no problem, as long as you do everything properly. However, males do tend to be a little more sensitive toward bonding situations, so just be careful with that one. If you have a female and you want to get her a friend, another female, of course, works really well, or a neutered boar. Again, I definitely go for the same-sex pairing over neutering if you have that option. Some guinea pigs will not get along with the same sex, and the only real hope for them to have a friend is the opposite sex. Some guinea pigs need to be solitary because they don't get along with anybody. It's just like people, so you have to take that into consideration too. Typically, if you have a guinea pig and you're getting them a same-sex friend, a baby is the best bet. Then there's a natural dominance order that you don't have to worry about violating. Of course, there's always the chance that the baby will grow up and challenge dominance and they won't get along. However, that tends to be pretty rare, although it's a little more common in males. Males do tend to be a little bit more picky when it comes to socializing and things like that. If you have a particularly dominant male, sometimes it's best just to leave him be as a single guinea pig, or neuter him and pair him up with a female. So each situation is very, very unique because, again, guinea pigs being social creatures all have their own subtle nuances that can be really difficult to spot as humans. The first thing you want to do is double check the sex of the guinea pig. Please do that. It doesn't matter where you get them from. I'm showing you on Twiggy because she's calmer and more used to this kind of stuff. So basically what you need to do is kind of turn them upside down and probe them. It's not the most fun, but you got to do it. So if you do that and kind of push down on either side of their genitals, if they're a male, the red rocket will come out. I'm just going to put it that way. I'm really sorry that you had to see that, by the way. In comparison, here's a female. As you can see, there is nothing popping out, obviously. Another giveaway is there's going to be kind of a Y shape where the opening of the vagina is, and that's kind of the only giveaway you can get with a female. But basically, if you're doing it correctly and you're pushing on both sides of the genitals and nothing's coming out, it's most likely a female. So these two girls came from a situation that got out of control, and basically they were sold two guinea pigs of different sexes by accident. So they are not only sisters but also mother and daughter. And that can create some weird dynamics just because a mother is usually going to be a little dependent of her baby, and sometimes because of that, bonding two pairs where one is a parent doesn't always work. However, in this situation, unfortunately, the mother is so young, she's only 4 months old, and the baby's only a month. So because they're both babies, I figured it would probably work out alright. So I'm just going to start going over the steps that are best to take when you're looking to introduce guinea pigs to your existing herd. So the first thing you want to do is have them all together somewhere completely neutral like this. And basically what that does is test to see if they get along on their own with no marked territory and absolutely no resources. And basically this will let you know if their personalities will go together all right. Then the second step you want to do is, on also neutral territory, introduce some resources and let them work that kind of stuff out first before you put them in the cage together. And that would be, the marked territory and all of the resources. The reason I say marked territory is because no matter how much you clean it and prepare it for the new guinea pigs, it's still going to have some smell of your existing guinea pigs because they've been living in the house for this long. So once you've worked out each step and they're getting along, then you can move on to the next, step. And if they don't get along, then you kind of want to move backwards. So if they're not really doing so well altogether, and you put down a food dish, then maybe take the food dish away for a little bit until everything's calmed down, and then try again. So after you've sexed them and made sure everything's alright, put them all together on the couch, the new ones on one end, the old ones on the other end, and let them go, sniff each other out, and meet each other on their own time. Be patient, don't rush them. This should go fine. It's usually they are sort of just scared and they'll kind of just huddle together, although you may get some different reactions, which I'll go over in the next video clip, because mine didn't do anything when I put them together on the couch. I've listed some basic ideas for neutral territory here. The backseat of the car is a good idea if you are introducing males that may be a little bit dominant and you really, really, really need, all smells out of the air. So after that, you can set up a little area that has some, resources in it, and this is kind of an area you can leave them in for a long time, for the day or so if things are going well. And so, as you can see, I've blocked off a very large area with some hay, pellets, water, and little hideouts here and there. Spread everything out, spread the food out as much as possible. You want to make everything as far away as possible so that there is less of a chance that a few of them are going to gather in the same spot and start trying to duke it out over who gets to eat what first, because that tends to be most of the resource-based disputes. So keep an eye here on Twix, the dark guinea pig. This is called rumble strutting, what she's doing, so she's wiggling her butt. Basically, that's what they do when they want to assert that they are the boss, or this is their territory. So this noise you're going to hear Twiggy making is teeth chattering. This is an aggressive noise, however, it's pretty normal at first. Just make sure, if you are hearing this noise regularly, to keep watching them closely because you may have to break up a fight. FYI, if they do start fighting, don't get involved directly because you could get hurt. I'm serious. I've had a couple chunks out of me, if they're flying at each other with their teeth out. Your best bet is to use something like a broom to get in between them, or even throw a towel on top of them, but definitely don't stick your hand in there, especially with large males. They definitely pack a punch. So this right here is actually a really good sign. I've given them some treats, and Twiggy and Twix allow one of the new pigs to take one of the spinach leaves and then run away really quick. You notice that right here Twiggy inches up and her fur is kind of spiked up. That's a little bit of a territorial kind of back off sign. But that's fine because the other pig ran away really quick, so she was just fine to get the hell out of there, like Twiggy asked. So that's really good. That means that she's not showing any signs of dominance. She's fine with being submissive. That's a great sign. So right here, this is awesome. The two have their backs turned to each other, which basically conveys a basic sense of trust. They can trust one another to not attack while they're not looking. You're going to hear a little bit of teeth chattering from Twiggy right here. Not really a big deal. Twiggy's the dominant guinea pig. She does that. Over here, Twix is chasing after her. She does try to mount her, and the other one squeaks and runs off. That's fine. Mounting is normal. So is projectile peeing, which is wonderful to witness. So all Twix was really doing here was defending her resource, which is just the box of hay, and honestly it went pretty well. Simona backed off there, which is the important part, so she's letting Twix be dominant, no big deal. So right here, baby Scout has gotten a little too close to the water, so Twiggy's kind of getting up in her grill. You'll hear some plaintive squeaking. That's normal. You're going to hear that for probably the first week or so, ongoing all the time. Right here, Twiggy actually goes to sniff Scout and scares her. Yeah, that's pretty normal for the babies to be afraid of the older dominant piggies in the herd. So here's a little clip of Twix bullying the baby guinea pig. You hear a high-pitched squeak. She kind of rushed at her and nipped her a bit. Nothing bad happened. I don't show it because I was too busy watching to make sure everything was alright, but it's pretty normal. Basically, if there's no blood drawn, then everything's fine. So here's a sign of when you know that everything's going pretty well and there's some nice progression happening in the relationship. Twix goes and sees one of the piggies over there, considers it, and then just hops in the box of hay. What she's doing here is basically allowing Scout there to sit next to the box of hay. That's great. She's considering her a non-threat, and really, you see, sorry, that's Simona run away there, which is good. She's giving Twix her space, and everything's going great. So since everything was going so well in the neutral territory, after about a day or two spent there, I moved them into the cage, which I changed completely first and cleaned out to make sure that there were no leftover smells that could cause any fights. The baby guinea pig is jumping around and popcorning. That means she's playing and she's happy. Twix is rumble strutting to make sure everybody knows to make way for her. Twiggy's eating in the kitchen area. These two feel comfortable enough to eat, so everything's basically going great at this point. However, I still really wouldn't advise leaving them alone in the cage while you're not home together until you see signs that they're completely comfortable with each other. So I'll just show a few pictures and videos of what that might look like. So basically right here you see Twix scratching her face while Simona's coming close. That's awesome. Twix is sniffing Scout right there. Also pretty great. It means they're getting to know one another. That tube right there is actually really important. It allows the baby to escape from any of the adults if she feels overwhelmed. So it's good to have something small that the baby can get into that the adults can't. Twiggy and Twix are eating. They don't seem bothered by the two new ones, and they're allowing them to eat as well, which is excellent. I find a really useful tool is taking them out of their cage in mixed pairs. As you can see here, Simona's cuddling up to Twix, and Twix doesn't mind. Twix is sitting on Simona. Simona doesn't mind. That's great as well. Twix stole a fork by accident. No! Where'd it go, guys? So because I had it pretty easy bonding the guinea pigs, I'm actually going to show you some clips of some fights that are a little more intense. So here's a fight between two guinea pigs that was pretty quickly resolved. This isn't something to be concerned about. As you can see, they kind of circle each other a couple times and then back off. This, however, is a bad fight. This is a dangerous fight. This is the kind of fight that after you need to take either a lot of steps back or possibly just even give up. And I mean, if you have a fight like this, it's usually because you've rushed forward too quickly. So these two obviously shouldn't have been placed in a cage belonging to one of them together. You know it's a bad fight if after one runs away, the other one keeps chasing it. Usually they'll just chase them away and that's it. Also, if they're spiraling in midair or colliding in midair, that's not good. And you'll find if a fight like this occurs, they'll kind of have like a marked vendetta against each other for a little bit. You can recover from a fight like this, but typically you want to be really careful. I really want to reiterate this. If you find any blood at all, a scrape that looks like it was caused by guinea pig's teeth or claws, definitely separate them 100%. And if they were getting along before, keep an eye on them, maybe, just to make sure, you know, it didn't happen by accident or if they didn't scrape themselves on something in the cage. And if you see fighting accompanied by a scrape, then definitely separate them 100%. If you find any blood, monitor them, don't take your eyes off them, don't leave them alone together. And certainly if you see a fight happen and bloodshed occurs, that's it. It probably isn't going to work out. Don't be mistaken by their docile nature. Typically, a guinea pig fight can result in death. And if you leave two guinea pigs in together that are clearly not getting along, like they're fighting like that, even if they seem to like each other all the time and then a fight like that occurs once in a while, they eventually will kill each other. And don't be mistaken on that. These video clips of the guinea pigs fighting are likely because also they're in way too small cages for the numbers. Even this fight here where the one of them isn't retaliating will end up in this light-colored guinea pig just becoming very, very stressed out, depressed. It may stop eating, it might get sick, just because it's constantly being harassed. So I mean, if this behavior is normal at first, but after a few weeks, if it doesn't stop, then you want to intervene. I mean, for 5 guinea pigs, your cage size should be like at least like 10 square feet, maybe 12 square feet. Males possibly even bigger. Some levels are awesome to add space without taking up too much floor space. I feel like I barely even scraped the surface of guinea pig bonding, even though this video is almost 20 minutes long, because it is complicated and it really does depend on each individual situation. So I'm linking you up to kvspirit.com, which gives a really good overview of guinea pig bonding, and above all, use your instincts. If you think something might be wrong, address it, look it up, research it. The bonding process can take anywhere from, you know, an instant friendship to you know, a couple of weeks. It's important to always end bonding sessions on a good note, so if a fight breaks out or something, calm everything down before you put them back together. I mean, separate them, sorry. But anyways, I think that's where I'm going to end this here today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try my best to get to them. But again, in general, just take it slow. You can't go too slow, and stay safe. Again, don't put your hands in. Have a towel ready just in case. And above all, make sure you watch out for your guinea pig's health, because obviously a single piggy is going to be a lot happier with a friend, but every now and then you just get guinea pigs that need to be by themselves, and that's really the most important thing, that nobody's overly stressed out. So, good luck with all your guinea pig bonding, and I hope everything goes smoothly for you. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more videos in the future.